Hi everybody, my name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator and I'm dedicated to familiarizing myself with different accents and different voices on a monthly basis. This month's accent is Maltese. I'll soon be narrating a book with Maltese characters, and there's no better way to train up to that and keep myself accountable than the process of making one of these videos. Now, there have been posted some videos that are already out there on YouTube that have sparked what I'll politely call enthusiastic responses as to how the accent really works, whether the previous videos are accurate or not, and how there is no one Maltese accent anyway. Allow me a quick moment to philosophize.
Yes, doing an accent that is inaccurate to a native ear is unfortunate and can be irritating as all heck to the native. However, it is even more important to make specific choices and stick with them, even if your initial interpretation of the accent may somehow be inaccurate. What we're really talking about here is building a character, and if the character is consistent and talking consistently, then the story and that character's involvement in that story are going to come through just fine. A good example would be black and white photography in films. Black and white is not how most of the human eye sees the world. However, you get involved in the story anyway if the film is consistent in its look.
So then, I'll be taking the principles of the Maltese accent as I've been researching them, and I'm going to apply those principles to song lyrics, which is a technique I highly recommend for practicing. Ta-da! Here is the Mattoon, everyone. This is a picture of me with my glasses on, and it's to illustrate where the accent is living in my mouth when I'm following the accent guidelines. It's helpful for me to position my mouth, the front of my mouth, in an O shape and not let the corners of my lips go out too much to the sides. This also is helpful with keeping my tongue right up front. And when I do that with the O and with the tongue, the results play out as follows. The O shape in the front of my mouth turns my general American ah sound into something closer to an aw sound, short O. Particularly when a short A is followed by an M or an N. Thus, example becomes example, and banker becomes banker. Now, there are times when I've heard the short A sound in Maltese pronounced like a short E, so that. But I haven't heard it nearly as much as the ah to ah sound, so I'm going to stick with that as my choice. Likewise, this O shape in my mouth leads to a melding and sometimes a reversal of the short O, ah, to the long O. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's enough that I'm going to err on the side of that. Thus, poppies becomes poppies. Now, when we have the tip of the tongue all up in front, that gives us a very good shot at a very articulated L, especially at the ends of words, where you can almost hear an after the L. It's so articulate. So, all the people, you see how in General American at the end of the word we almost don't use the L at all, it becomes almost more of a W. All the people, it turns into all the people. I'm not quite sure if I illustrated the people as the people, but it really should be a D, which brings us to our principle of, with the tongue all the way up front like that, the TH that is silent becomes a T sound, and the voiced TH becomes a D sound, the people. So there, voiced beneath, unvoiced, becomes there beneath. Also with that tongue so far to the front, get ready to stick it out just a little bit past the teeth. That dentalizes the D's and T's that are already there. So roundabout becomes roundabout. Some other notes. A hard C or a K sound tends to follow an ing. So pouring rain becomes pouring rain. Now, I'm also hearing something of a two-syllable workout of the I sound, the long I, where it becomes almost an I. So sky becoming sky, I'm not hearing it all the time, but I'm hearing it enough that I'm going to have some fun playing with it. I'm hearing the Maltese accent as very articulate, not necessarily staccato, but articulate, whereas the general American tends to be much more relaxed. So, for example, if we have the words behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout, just in a general American, be behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout. See how I mush things a little bit. In Maltese, it wouldn't become behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout, but it does become very clear with behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout. Now, here are some things that with Malta being a neighbor to Italy, I would be tempted to do, but I'm finding are no-go zones.
The first is the classic Italian, rise and fall, and rise and fall. I'm exaggerating here, but just to make a point. If we had the words, and the banker never wears a Mac, if I were to do an exaggerated Italian, and the banker never wears a Mac. Actually, in Maltese, what I'm finding is it comes up and then down. It comes from above and then down, rather than up, and up, and up, da, da, da. So yeah, in the case of outrage or puzzlement, and the banker never wears a Mac. Another don't go there or proceed with caution is a trilled R. If we were to have in my ears and go with typical Italian or even Spanish, just those typical tropes of the trilled R, it would be Penny Lane is in my ears, would be Penny Lane is in my ears. In this case, I'm just not hearing it very much, so I'm going to err on the side of Penny Lane is in my ears. Avoid the short I to long E conversion that tends to happen. So it's not Penny Lane is in my ears. It would be Penny Lane is in my ears. Avoid the typical short E to long A conversion. So it's not Penny Lane, it's Penny Lane. Avoid the short U to short A conversion. So what doesn't become what, it's just what. Avoid the phenomenon of an E being inserted before an S if the S is followed by a consonant. So typically in Italy or Spain, sky would become a sky. In the case of Maltese, it's simply sky.
All right, everybody, it is song time. We are going to take these principles and apply them to the lyrics of, yes, you guessed it, Penny Lane. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I sit, and meanwhile back. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go stop and say hello. On the corner is a bunker with a motor car, and the little children laugh at him behind his back, and the bunker never wears a Mac in the pouring rain. Very strange. In Penny Lane there is a fireman with an hourglass, and in his pocket is a portrait of the Queen, and he likes to keep his fire engine clean. It's a clean machine. Behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout, a pretty nurse is selling puppies from a tray, and though she feels as if she's in a play, she is anyway. In Penny Lane, the barber shaves another customer, and we see the banker sitting, waiting for a trim, and then the fireman rushes in from the pouring rain. Very strange. And that was Penny Lane from the Beatles. Music by Kevin MacLeod, who gives us stuff royalty-free, public domain. Thank you so much, Kevin. And now, is this the video that is going to just make peace all around all the different videos about Maltese? Of course not. But let's see if this shot inspires some specific comments that help us get an even better view, a better ear, and a better understanding of the Maltese accent. And I will see you next time.